Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the Clear Tai Chi Mastermind meeting, and welcome. And I'm going to introduce everybody here real quick. And Art Don in Washington, D.C. area.
Hey, everyone.
Harry Legg in the Verona, New Jersey, New York City area.
Hello, hello, hello.
Jim Kelly in Boca Raton, Florida.
Sunny Boca Raton, yes.
Yes, sunny Boca Raton. Ty Talbert in Colton, California, basically greater LA, Los Angeles area. And anything that would be a little different about location, Ty, go ahead and tell him. Ty's been with us for a while, but he had been a combination of California time being different than our Eastern time that the rest of us are on here. And work responsibilities had him unable to attend the meetings, and so now that has changed.
Yes, now I'm retired, and I am in the LA area, about 30 miles out of Los Angeles.
Cool. And then Daniel Stringer in hey, what's that? In DeLand and or the greater Orlando area.
Hello, hello.
Okay, Greg Lohmeyer in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
I like Daniel was returning the favor. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, we hear it every week, so I know exactly where everybody lives.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously we're in the throes of coronavirus, and that's what's happening while we're recording this for you today. And our mall is shut down here. The malls in California are shut down. Who else? Anybody else? And then Greg, you said the malls where you're at are shut down. Harry, you guys are under don't leave your house, right?
Well, that would be the entire state of New York has been put on lockdown as of today. From Governor Cuomo. New Jersey's not far behind. All the service places, gyms and hair salons and things like that, and all the restaurants can only do curbside or takeout. At least that's where it currently stands right now. We hear that may get even tighter on Monday. So,
that you're getting even tighter on Monday?
Yeah, where even certain restaurants like coffee shops and things like that will have to be closed.
Just closed. Yeah, and right now last count I heard was 16,000 people. And between now and the end of the day, we're probably going to hit 20. We're recording this on Friday, March the 20th. And so if it goes the way I'm thinking it'll go, those numbers will explode here over the next few days to a week. Anyways, so basically I wanted to put across for the public here a free public service Qigong energy work from the Tai Chi and all that. If you're not a Tai Chi practitioner, obviously, and not a Qigong practitioner, and going, that's a bunch of bogus, do us a favor, don't watch it and torture yourself for something you don't agree with, don't believe in, and all that. And we don't need the hate mail from you. The world's difficult enough. We're trying to help make it better. And so this is Qigong for helping to support the immune system, defend against, like the coronavirus, and to help minimize symptoms if you do get sick. Now, ideally, when I'm saying that, if you got sick, it won't be that you did it one day and magically it's doing that for you. It's that you've built up your body over a while, just like anybody who's healthy and strong and that kind of thing. And that doesn't mean it won't suck if you get it. It just means that your body's in a little better shape, or hopefully a lot better shape, and that you're able to weather that storm better than you would if your body was not healthy and well. So let me start off by making sure that I've said this. I am an experienced Qigong and Tai Chi health and wellness teacher. I started teaching in 1983 and 84. I started learning in the 1970s. I'm still an avid student, actively learning and researching the arts today, over 40 years later. Yeah, and we'll continue to do that. I am not a licensed medical professional. Do not rely on me for medical advice. You should be talking to your doctor or local medical professional for that. That's what they're there for. And if you're unwell and all that stuff, you go to them. I I can't give you legal advice, and I can't give you medical advice. Okay, for any medical advice, see your doctor. For any legal advice, see your attorney. Okay. The symptoms of this thing, according to the COVID-19, according to the CDC and the World Health Organization, are respiratory, like a respiratory sinus infection kind of thing, runny nose, sore throat, coughing, dry cough, I'm told, difficulty breathing, shortness of breath, pain or pressure in the chest, fever, fatigue, that'll go along with all that stuff. And then I'm also told today that they're saying that about half the people have some kind of a bowel situation and or diarrhea that kind of goes along with it. And so of course, if you have the virus, get help from your doctor, local hospital, get tested, get help, do what the doctors tell you, and that kind of thing. That's just smart. At that point, you really need to do what you can to manage your health properly, and it involves getting with the professionals who are handling this. And then the other thing to know for those of you who don't have it, and even in kind of if you do, some of this won't apply as much, but ideally you're still doing what you can to take care of yourself. The smart daily activities for your health that have been put out there for everybody is social distancing, which is a big name in the news, and it means just basically keep enough space between you and the other people that they can't breathe on you or touch you and give you stuff. And it's self-quarantining, basically staying in your house, which this program that we're doing for you is designed so if you're in your house, that you've got some practices that you can do in your home, and you don't have to have somebody else there to do it with you. Good nutrition and vitamins, and ideally you're doing that some of this stuff all the time. But if not, now it would be really important. Make sure you're drinking clean water, that you're getting your vitamins, and all of that. I take a pretty good amount of vitamins, and different ones, and natural supplements and all of that. And then I eat quality food most of the time as well. Fluids, drink plenty of liquids, mostly water. Try to really avoid, if you're doing Cokes and soft drinks, like that, I would avoid that stuff. It's a lot of sugar. It's a lot of it's a lot of chemicals, basically, not particularly good for you. Get your sleep and your rest. It's one of the most important things. Keep your you're getting enough rest, you keep your immune system strong. You're not getting enough rest, your immune system's taking a hit, and then you're more susceptible to things. Wash your hands, use the hand sanitizer and all of that. Keep warm. And that's one of the ones that I saw that they were putting out there, is make sure that you're staying warm, not hot, and definitely not cold or chilly and those kind of things. It was recommended that you take a hot shower or use a room humidifier to help ease respiratory symptoms and keep your respiratory as best you can, so that way you're more likely, I guess, to fight it off. And then if you did get it, that you're in better shape to tolerate it. Reduce stress, and the stress right now out there is really high and all of that. And when you're stressed, it's much easier to get sick. So reduce the stress, take it easy, rest and pace yourself. Use it as a time to do things at home that you've been putting off, and just get into the activities that you need to do, and monitor what's going on in the world just enough to have an idea, but not enough that you're sitting there glued to the news programs, pulling your hair out for stuff that you've already heard 500 times. There's no point to that other than to make yourself stressed out and more susceptible to getting sick, or even to program your mind for getting sick, and there's no point to that. All right. So the Qigong for helping to defend yourself against this and help minimize symptoms if you do get it. And the first one has to do with the relaxation aspect and the no stress or de-stressing aspect. And so what I've got there is that in your body, if you can, and I'm going to show it to you from the side here a little bit. If I'm sitting here, instead of sitting here like this, actually move forward, backward, and I'm not doing this, right, like I'm doing a push-up. I'm trying to actually take my body parts and move them as if I was underwater with some current acting on me. And I'm trying to make sure that it's my whole body. And I'm sitting right now, but obviously I want to stand and do this with my legs and every body part. And it's sort of reach, put your chest in, put your chest out, this kind of a thing, and softer and softer and softer. So if somebody was touching you, you'd be like a feather and just move. And this softness like this from head to toe. Right? And this is for helping to defend yourself and to minimize symptoms if you do get it. The more tension you have, the more that sickness has a place to grab a hold of in you. So soft, floating, peaceful Tai Chi movement, and even let your eyes go to halfway so that they're participating in being really soft and that kind of a thing. So that's the first one. It's just this really soft, really peaceful. And so if you know a Tai Chi form, it's kind of like rise up, every part of you floating upward, and settle like a leaf gently falling, and let it all sink downward. And as much as you can, get that from head to toe, and do that with your whole body. The second one is whole body, and these are all mostly designed to all happen at the same time, but we're going to work them separately with the idea that you then integrate all of it at once, or most of it. And so whole body breathing, and if you take your chin and you put it on your chest and try to breathe in, you'll find that your breath is all stuck up in here. Well, even if you're halfway, in other words, this is right in the middle, right, aligned and up and down, this is obviously torqued up. If you go from here, from doing it, breathing in this way, and you find the breath gets very stuck up here, go very erect this way, soft but erect, and then breathe in, breathe out, and you'll find that your whole body takes in a lot more of that air overall, even all the way to your hands and fingers, and ideally into your toes and feet. And even tilt your head, not all the way, but halfway to your chest, and you'll find that the breath is still very high in your chest and doesn't go to your whole body like that. So to get that whole body breath, you want that alignment to be very up and down like this, so that, and so everything's soft and unimpeded, so nothing is cranked in or held in. It's all soft and big and aligned and towards the straighter, while being rounded in the rest of your body, but from the top of your head down through your spine, very, very straight, but very soft. So soft like that first one, but straight like we're talking about now. And then breathe in, and then breathe out like that. And so then now to add to this and help you expand and contract your whole body using your breath. So breathe in and fill up your body, and actually feel your body expand in every direction. All the way through, and use your whole body for the breathing, whole body using breath, and then let it all out. And notice this way, and then back to expansion. Everywhere. And back to letting it all out and contracting, because not because you're trying to force the contraction, but because the air going out is letting it contract. And inside, feel the contraction as well. Back to the expanding. Back to the contraction. And then combine this with your good alignment, with being extra, extra, extra soft at the same time. You see the in and the out. And then normalize. And then do this gentle and big stretching while doing the softness and the breathing. And you're doing it to help to mitigate tension and sore and aching body parts. You really want to get it so that you are, if on the stretch, it's soft and it's gentle, but it's more and more and more and more and more and more. And you don't want to hit the end of it. So it's not like I'm stretched all the way, but just stretching and reaching and reaching and reaching and through you everywhere. And I'll let that come back in everywhere. Gentle and big stretching while doing the softness and breathing. And you're doing it to help mitigate any tension that you've got and any sore and aching body parts. So I'm stretching, 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 stretching. While expanding with the air, while being really soft, while being really well aligned. Breathe in. And you'll have to go slow and soft, otherwise your stretching will overcome the expansion, or the expansion will make it so that you're not stretching and you want the whole thing. So soft, softer, softer. Back out. Like that. And then move for a minute and feel your body and how your body feels now after having done those things. Like that. And then you can do a little more even than I did there. In acupuncture and Chinese medicine, the healthy state of the body is a constant flowing of the energy through the system, right? And the cycle of energy through your system continually, that it doesn't block up anywhere. And one of the things that both injuries and a lot of sicknesses tend to do is they'll impede or block that flow of energy through the body, and then it starts backing up. And this is, think about it like your respiratory system normally, and your sinuses, they move and this kind of a thing, and then they start getting junked up, clogged up, and then blocked up, and now your flow through isn't so good, and then you're getting the stuff. The energy stagnation, where it's stopping and blocking up like that, causes pain and disease, or also can be a symptom of pain and disease. Your energy system is designed to flow and move out bad energy and sickness. And so you're trying to do some things physically here, and with the energy, the way that you're letting it move and helping it to move inside, to help move out the sickness and that kind of a thing, and to not give it a place to sit and to stick and to really increase inside you. You're trying to get anything like that to move through, and ideally with the idea that you're, like in the expansion, moving it out of your system as opposed to holding on to it. And then by having that in and out and that ability to sort of fight it off like that from a physical standpoint. Now, I'm not telling you if somebody comes up and breathes in your face with coronavirus ta-da, excuse me, that you don't have any. That's crazy. It's germs, and you have the germs. Hopefully that's not happening to you if something like that did. this will help you, at least again, in terms of your own body's healthy state, to weather it better if you've been working it for a little while.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
In the year 2020, right now, boosting immunity is on everyone's mind. Many scientific studies show that Tai Chi boosts immunity and helps prevent infection from viruses. On TaiChiForImmunity.com, I created a course that teaches the internal principles to make it work. This is the complete what, why, and how to turn your favorite Tai Chi form into an immune-boosting powerhouse. It also includes practices to help ease symptoms for the rare times when you do get sick. Tai Chi can help you live a longer and healthier life, and you don't need a special form to do it. The immune-boosting benefits of Tai Chi come from the correct expression and utilization of internal power. In Tai Chi for boosting the immune system, I teach you everything you need to know to get the benefits for yourself. Again, that course is available on TaiChiForImmunity.com. That's TaiChiForImmunity.com.
So alignment for energy flow stimulation, we actually use, and it's just taught, this is what's taught in my book and video on Qi energy activation, cultivation, and flow. And it's the Wu Qi principles for better energy flow around the body. And so the Wu Qi has to do with suspended really from your jaw and the back of your neck, so that you're suspended like that through your body. Now, normally standing up, we're doing this from you today, it's normally like a podcast thing where we're talking a lot more as opposed to me teaching something. Today I'm doing this for you guys at home for the public service. So normally I'm at the school in front of the camera standing so that you can see this stuff. So bear with me. All right. So with the Wu Qi principles, it's that alignment. It's the spine basically erect through you and getting a slight mild stretch in it. And when I say mild, it's really, really mild, but it's there. And that you are relaxed everywhere, even though you're holding this alignment. So think of it as that I'm hanging from it so that this is relaxed, right? But that I am suspended from here coming through. And then really make sure that there's no joints themselves holding tension, doing the principles of everything that the practices that I've given you up till here. Tongues on the roof of the mouth, behind the front teeth here, so that you're connecting the meridians and the acupuncture meridians. You're connecting the conception vessel and the governing vessel, and you're actually making a cycle there. And then you don't try to do anything with your mind with that microcosmic orbit kind of a cycle. You just want the connection. And if you're doing the other things I'm telling you, it will start flowing on its own, which is what you want, that it's naturally just there. And so tongues on the roof of the mouth, behind the front teeth, you've got this. Your joints are all not bound up in any way, but not locked out either, because same problem. And then when you've got this and your whole body breathing and that softness and that alignment at the same time, bring your hands together and see if you can feel anything there. And if you're used to feeling an energy ball, if you're used to, like, if you know how to make an energy ball and do stuff with energy balls, do not make an energy ball. You're not trying to go, okay, I'm going to make one of these. It's, if everything is right, when I bring my hands together, there's one, it's just there already. And that's what we're looking for. We want it to be there already. And if it's not very strong, make some adjustment in your alignment, right? And find the best place so that it's central, and find the place where you're softer and make better connection, and the sleepy eye and relaxed eyes and really good posture and the softness, and then come back and see if it's not noticeably stronger, and then use the strength of what you feel there to make your adjustments. The stronger it is, the more correct it is, the weaker it is, as long as it's in the same session like this, then the weaker it is, then you've got some adjustments to try to make. Now, if it's as strong as you can make it and it's still kind of weak, that's just where you're at right now. And so you're using the strength of it now versus, in this session, is it stronger or weaker now for what I'm capable of at the moment? All right, and then use the energy ball to test and know if this is correct. Go extra soft like you're going to go to sleep, but keep everything else on, and that should increase some more. Make sure that your whole body breathing while you're doing all this, almost like going to sleep again. In, very soft, and out. And I'm doing this in my nose, out my nose, but soft. And the more you can feel like going to sleep, but keep your principles and your posture and your other stuff correct, the stronger it is and the healthier it is for you. And then move everything again and feel that. Rub your fingers together, and it should have a very silky, like you have to put on a little bit of lotion or something, or in these days, a little bit of hand sanitizer, like that. All right. With all the rest of the stuff at the same time, now while you're there doing this, and don't worry about the energy ball for the moment, do spherical center with the rest of this at the same time. And that means do not give or create a place of tension in your body or in your mind. And when you do this practice, I'm going to tell you right now, as you adjust, your nose might run a little bit, your sinuses might try to open up and clear. You might cough a little bit as your lungs begin to open up and clear, kind of like an expectorant. You may feel the internal movement of the energy on different parts of your body because it's moving through the meridians, the meridian lines that are used by the acupuncturist for where the pressure points sit on the meridians, and that's where they're putting the needles if you're not familiar with that. And if you're not familiar with it at all, I'm going, what are you talking about? Look up acupuncture charts. You'll see the lines, that's the meridians, and the points on the lines, that's where the lines come to the surface on the body. And then there'll be more information there where you can see that. So you may feel extra tension in your neck or head. It's because you're holding tension there. And so relax your mind and your neck while still holding the alignment, right? And then move, relax, and release any of that tension, both on your head and your neck, even though you're keeping the alignments and all of that. And by spherical center, if I go up as far as I can go up, I'm now not at the center, I'm at the end up. If I sink, I can't go down anymore, I'm at the end at the bottom. If I go over this way as far as I can go, I'm like this, and I can go further. But if I get to the end point, then I'm at the end over there, same thing. I want to get right in the middle of all that where I can go forwards, backwards, down, up, sideways, around, any direction, and I can go there now without having to do something else first. So I go up all the way, I can only go down. I can't go up anymore. And if I was going to go up, I got to come down and then go up. That's the double-weighted error that I'm trying not to make. I want to be here so that if I want to go up, I can just go up and I can keep going up. So I want to make sure I never actually get to the end. So I'm in that center and that swimming in water, under the water, and I've got my body gathered in enough so that I can swim instantly whatever direction I want to go, like that, in all directions. And just hold that with that softness, with that alignment, with that expansion and contraction, with the whole body breathing. And like I said, you might feel those symptoms that I was talking about. They'll be there for a little bit, then that'll stop. Like that. All right. If you know our bone marrow, the Clear Tai Chi bone marrow washing Qigong method, practice it every day when you first wake up for however much you need. I would try to allow like 20 minutes for it if you can. And so I want to make sure to say that. For more information on that and like this, go to cleartaichi.com and join the free practical guide to internal power, or go to internalpowerguide.com. The Merrell washing method is in my book. We've got it in a number of the different videos that we have that in there. Not all of them, but certainly the one for the book, the video for the book has that kind of thing.
Hey, Sifu?
Yeah.
Question on the bone marrow washing.
Sure.
If you have symptoms do you want to be doing that? Because your body obviously has poison in it, and then you're
and then are you putting that into your bone marrow?
Right.
I'll tell you a couple things. While you're resting, like if you were sick, you know how sleep is good for you? In sleep, ideally, if you're breathing decently, you're breathing and the whole body is filling up, and then the whole body is emptying, right? You know, you see people in much in the same way that this Qigong that I'm telling you, especially if you look at like a small child sleeping, this kind of thing. And so with that, and having felt it also, I would say that as long as you're not in the deep, deep throes of the worst part of the sickness right now, that yes, you would be okay to do the bone marrow washing. Now, you make sure to be connected to heaven and earth energy in that right way that you learn in the method. So that's what you're doing and bringing in, just like when you're sleeping. It's not like you're breathing in more of the sickness. You're breathing in from the greater air around you, and that's what you're filling up with and then letting back out. And so it's that connection to what's around you, ideally not other people at that point, and like that. So you should still be able to do the bone marrow washing. And the most important part in the bone marrow washing before you do the practice and while you're doing the practice is the super calm, relaxed. Much of the things that I talked about here should actually be happening. Do not try to run the bone marrow washing if you're so tense or stiff or coughing and stuff that you can't relax fully like that. That's going to be harmful to you. So really relax, like you're going to go to sleep. Let's say you've had enough rest that you don't feel good, but you're not going to sleep right now. Do the bone marrow washing like that in that state and really just focus in on getting that deeper relaxation and moving that energy like that. And you'll be reaping the good parts and just like you did when you were asleep, and basically trying not to run anything that you're intentionally doing things in a way when you practice the method fully and correctly, so that you're not taking in more of the sickness. If that makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Any other questions, comments, anything else to put out there for folks?
I would just say don't practice deep rooting. I can tell you from experience, if you are more than a little sick and you practice deep rooting, this is not good for you.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
Yeah. In that case, you're really trying to be more that swimming in water effect. And so it's got that very soft, very like that. And then that's all around you, including all the way under your feet. And so, yeah, I'm not really dropping root while I'm doing that.
Can you talk more about that? Because do you not want to take a sickness and drop it out of you?
If I can, but then I'm intentionally running it down that route and out, which is different than I dropped my energy, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And that's not that I wouldn't root some personally, but I get how that would be a problem for a lot of people. It's basically like you're sick and you're trying to exercise depending on where your root drop is. And so I'm not doing that, but I will relax it downward and let it go to where it wants to naturally go, and then try to take the sickness out that way if there's any that's deep enough in that I'm trying to move it out of the system like that. It's a good question. Yeah. Any other?
I do have a question if it's not too late.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's about the energy ball, and you mentioned also that the yin yang symbol, the ordinarily black and white with the dot in the swirl, is just a two-dimensional representation of a three-dimensional thing, I guess.
Right, that's right. Yeah, the reality of it's in three dimensions, like a ball that's liquid and moving, right, of those things, as opposed
to. I guess my question is partly what is there any relation between the energy ball you're holding, and would that be comparable to the three-dimensional yin yang? Because the reason I ask,
there's a positive and a negative quality there normally. Sure.
Okay, but because sometimes I know you mentioned circulate the energy, clockwise, counterclockwise, forwards and backwards. But sometimes I feel it moving a lot more than that, not just in one direction, but sort of swirly.
Sure.
Or something. It just seems to be a lot more there than just a physical ball that could rotate one. So, and I was just trying to think about how to sort of process it and
Well, so let's say you felt a lot more movement than usual. That might be that you're either fighting off being sick or that you actually have some sickness at that point. If you're really feeling a lot of, this kind of a thing, because the normal is going to be a little more still than that.
Really
Not
just
solid
solid?
still, but less movement. But if you're
Oh.
feeling a lot of movement, then it may be your body either adjusting or
Oh.
processing or being a little bit sick, that kind of, or a lot sick, depending on that kind
okay, because it's not a lot of extra motion and it doesn't feel sort of chaotic or haphazard, just a little more motion, sort of, more
Mhm.
swirly. But it, so
That's
when
really
I
nice.
have that, I should just work more towards keeping it as a unit, sort of, and
I wouldn't really try to adjust it from there, like to go, okay, let's make it more solid or something like that. I would just keep working with the stuff, and it will change as it goes.
okay,
It tends to run through a process of just barely being able to feel it, and it being like feeling a little bit windy or that kind of a thing, a little bit
Right.
swirly, like you're talking about, and or heat. And then it gets to be a little bit more electric, where it's got kind of a buzz to it, and then a little bit more starts to feel like taffy, and like you can really mold it, and that tends to hold a little bit more still. This has to do with both your time and length of time and practice and the amount of practice. Don't try to force that issue.
okay, right.
And then it also has to do with how you're feeling. If you're feeling pretty well, then it's going to tend to move up more. The less well you feel, the more likely it's going to be towards the lower end of this.
All right.
Eventually, it starts to get more of a very strong magnetic quality, where magnets, and you can kind of feel that kind of an energy like that. And that's both the attraction and the repulsion part of magnets. And then from there, it starts to get to be feeling like a more solid. And then there are other things and temperatures and all that kind of stuff. I will tell you this, that they just did a study, like this came out, the publishing on this was done within the last week or so, saying that human beings can feel the electromagnetic field of the earth. They know that animals can do this and that they use it to navigate. They just did a study where they were able to prove that by actually monitoring the brain waves of people, that people can feel this as well. And so that's some pretty interesting and exciting news. It means that some of the stuff that has to do with that. Now, they haven't gone as far as to tell that people can act on that information or that they consciously know that they're feeling it, but they've proven that the brain registers it, and so that at some level you are aware of it, and they're saying that.
Well,
So cool stuff.
yeah, well, you're mentioning the, feeling the magnetic lines and polarity and things. So that would be why I've heard that it's good to face consistently a particular direction. Is that true, or is it not necessarily that strong a force, say, that it makes much difference?
Oh, I got you. Because if you can really feel that, would you want to face a direction? That's a good question. I could see where that would make you maybe want to face one way and do it all the time as you're working with certain kinds of things. At the same time, for me, when I'm going places, I'm headed that way, or maybe I'm headed that way, or maybe I'm going forward, or maybe I'm turning around and having to go back behind me. I don't want what I'm doing for my bigger work to be dependent on facing a direction when I'm doing stuff. And so I want to be able to go anywhere and do things like that. And so initially, or while you're doing certain kinds of standing and building, I can see kind of using that, but you're going to want to make it very multifunctional in like all kinds of ways, so you can use it, right? Because if it's like, hold on, there's something going on here, I'm going to have to turn and face that way. That's no good.
Right. Okay, good. That's very helpful. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I had today, folks. I hope you really get some benefit out of this and do it. And I hope you don't get sick, or if you do, that it's very mild and you work through it. I keep hearing that if somebody's really got this, that like most viruses, you can't catch them a second time, or it's a very rare thing for somebody to get it a second time. So if you did get this or had a mild version of it, or any version of it, but you lived through it, that should be the end of it for you. So hopefully you either won't get it, or if you do, that it's, you weather it well and come out the other side, and we'll be getting through this. So stay calm, be well, and we will get through this. And more next time. And thanks, guys. And keep me up to speed about how things are going in your areas and all that. And we'll do more next time.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
In the year 2020, right now, boosting immunity is on everyone's mind. Many scientific studies show that Tai Chi boosts immunity and helps prevent infection from viruses. On TaiChiForImmunity.com, I created a course that teaches the internal principles to make it work. This is the complete what, why, and how to turn your favorite Tai Chi form into an immune-boosting powerhouse. It also includes practices to help ease symptoms for the rare times when you do get sick. Tai Chi can help you live a longer and healthier life, and you don't need a special form to do it. The immune-boosting benefits of Tai Chi come from the correct expression and utilization of internal power. In Tai Chi for boosting the immune system, I teach you everything you need to know to get the benefits for yourself. Again, that course is available on TaiChiForImmunity.com. That's TaiChiForImmunity.com.